to Pickin, the Dream Band podcast, with me, Dan Dan, and his Sigourney Weaver stunt double, my co-host, Danny Beardsley. Dude, how are you, right?
Yeah, I'm alright, thanks.
Have you had much work recently as Sigourney Weaver's stunt double?
No, I haven't.
What has she been in recently?
Was she a cameo in the new one? The new Alien film?
No, the android was a cameo. Bilbo Baggins, he appeared as a little cameo.
Really?
Yeah, not as Bilbo Baggins, obviously, for the actor. I can't remember his name now.
Elijah Wood?
No, that's... I was going to say Dildo Baggins, but it's not Dildo Baggins, is it? What's his name? I can't... Frodo. Frodo, yeah, it's not Frodo, no.
Get your Frodo out.
Don't get your Frodo out. How you been, dude?
Yeah, good, thanks. In fact, I was talking about Sigourney Weaver the last time I went for a haircut.
Why, is that what you asked for?
No, I walked in and he was like, "Oh, Danny, how you doing? What are we doing for you today?" And I said, just a perm. A standard Sigourney Weaver.
Your hair at one point did look very like Sigourney Weaver's.
Well, yeah. If anybody follows the Instagram page, they will have seen a video not long ago where I was on stage with an old band called Isolysis.
Yes.
And I looked like Sigourney Weaver.
Didn't we have a prototype song that we called Sigourney Weaver? I'm sure we did.
The fact that you remember that means it was probably true.
Definitely true.
Because you don't remember lots of things. So if that stands out in your memory...
It absolutely does.
Yes. I like that T-shirt that you've got.
Which one?
Have you got the face hugger T-shirt?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember what it is. It's like it's not Kinder Surprise.
Free. Oh, yeah. It's
like an alien... A face hugger coming out of an egg, I think. An Easter egg, I think. A Kinder egg. I don't know. Oh, a Kinder egg. Yeah, it's a Kinder egg.
It's brilliant.
Perfect.
It's simply brilliant.
You've been up to much?
I have been editing a lot of podcasts.
Same. We're very busy.
And finishing off, been doing a lot of work on the master for a new song that I'm doing with the Beardsley Shore project.
Oh, is that the one that I've listened to
8,000 times?
I probably listened to about 18 different mixes of it.
Thanks, dude. I do appreciate the time that you put in listening to it. You're a very good friend.
So, you know what? It's a great song, but I've heard varying qualities.
I thought he was going to say, I've heard enough.
I have, but I've heard various different qualities of that song. Some quite poor.
I've heard enough of it.
But it's you know what? It's in a really good state at the minute, so I hope you release it soon. Because it's good enough.
Me too. Me too.
You're ridiculous.
What have you been up to?
Oh, I've just been fixing my poorly car. Well, I've not been fixing it, obviously, because I've not got the ability.
What happened to your car?
I'm selling it soon anyway.
Okay.
So getting a new one.
Are you going to the dark side?
Dark side?
You're getting a...
Why is it the dark side?
You're getting a Tesla?
I'm not getting a Tesla. I'm getting an electric car, though. Because I care about the planet. Unlike new President Trump. He does not care. So getting a new car, but obviously, just as I'm about to sell my actual car, currently, everything breaks. So I went to drive to here, to the studio the other day, and the suspension's dropped. My coil spring had snapped. Completely undrivable.
It's a good job you didn't drive it, because you could have got yourself into a bit of a pickle.
The garage is at the bottom of the road, so I did drive... To get it to the garage, I'd rolled it down the street, but there was scraping, there was noises, it was awful. It's been harrowing, really.
Well, you said that in the night, you heard a huge bang, didn't you? But didn't really think anything of it. I live
just outside Nottingham, so it could be anything. It could be a gunshot where I live.
Speculation. Could have been firework. Could have been someone putting the bin out.
Weirdly, there is fireworks like every day, pretty much. Don't know where it's coming from. But it could have been anything, that noise could. But yeah, I did hear a suspiciously loud bang. Which could have been my car deciding to commit caricide.
Caricide?
Is that what it's called?
I don't know, but I understand where you're coming from.
Anyway, it's stressing me out, so I'm not going to talk any more about my broken car. It's fixed-ish now, mostly.
Well, the next stressful thing is going to be trying to sell it. If any of our listeners are interested in buying a second-hand BMW that's been looked after...
Has it?
And it's...
Is that my car?
It's recently had a lot of work done.
Exactly, yeah. To be fair, it'll be in decent condition.
But it's very low down. I don't know if anybody has ever told you that.
It was lower down when the coil spring snapped, dude. It was literally scraping along the floor. Yeah, my mum moans about it every time she gets in. She goes, "Oh, this car's low." The next one's higher, so she can't moan about that, can she, when she's having to climb in like with a ladder.
With a ladder?
She's only short. Bless her.
Is that where you get from?
My shortness?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay. You still 5'4"?
I'm 5'7" on my tiptoes.
On your tippy toes?
Tippy toes. And while I'm ranting, sorry, while we're on like a bit of a rant bit, I'm still upset that we paid all that money for the donut and coffee at New Year.
Have you put a complaint in yet?
I've not, but should we do it after we've done this little intro?
I think we should do it.
Should we do an email?
Yes. I've never done it before.
I won't rest until he's sacked.
Oh, I'm not that kind of person.
I wasn't, but I am. It's on my mind all the time.
But I think there's something with the English is, you know, when something's not quite right. You know, when you go into a restaurant, and somebody says, "Is your meal okay?" But you actually look at your meal and it's like doused in diesel or something.
It's dog shit.
It's actually got dog feces on your plate. You still don't complain.
No, it's one of them things, isn't it?
Yes, it's lovely, thank you. And then as soon as they walk off, you're like,
I can't believe the worst meal I've ever had. I can't believe it's smeared in dog shit.
But like, why didn't you say something?
Well, yeah, that's what we're liking it. Anyway, let's move on.
But you, under your breath, you're sort of thinking, oh, I'm not tipping them.
I'm not giving them any extra money. And then you still give them a quid at the end.
You still give them a tip.
The joys of being British.
Yes.
Dude, what have you been listening to?
I've been listening to a very special playlist. Isis for Danny. Isis for Danny.
Finally.
Absolutely marvellous.
Marvellous.
I love it. We were having a really good chat about this the other day, weren't we?
We probably should have done it on this intro section, really.
Yeah, I mean, I can paraphrase.
Go on, paraphrase.
Basically, I think the dynamics that's in their recordings, in their compositions, is something that's very much lacking in modern music today.
There's a bold claim. It's true, though. I agree. I agree completely.
You agreed at the time.
Absolutely,
I know you're trying to like throw me under the bus now, like you normally do.
Always. Every opportunity.
But I think we agree on this. The production's fantastic. I mean, I don't think Isis, the band, are going to be for everyone.
Absolutely not.
Because it's quite...
It's a niche.
It is a niche, but it's like tuned to drop B or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The heavy parts are incredibly drony. I don't even know what genre it is.
Post-metal, I'd say. Okay. Post-metal, post-rock. There's post-rock elements in there as well.
Post-rock. Well, what would you do? What would you call the dreamy kind of...
That's like post-rock.
That's post-rock.
And then the metal bit is post-metal.
So they kind of balance those two elements, don't they? Beautifully.
And sludge. And drone. Drone metal as well.
You know what?
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, even the heavy parts. I found myself just almost meditating. It was so relaxing. And I know that you used to say, I listened to some Isis last night to like go to sleep to. And I was always like, what?
Yeah, I used the album Panopticon was my sleep album.
I can understand it now.
After one song, I'd be asleep.
Absolutely.
Even though it's so heavy. But it's that balance of the harsh and the light, isn't it? It's the, like I say, it's the dynamics.
Yeah.
I always say, you can't reach the heights of yin without first experiencing the depths of yang. I always say that. Isis summed that up perfectly, I think.
Amazing.
Something I always say. What intrigued me, Danny, was that I think you preferred the production on their earlier albums, Celestial and Oceanic.
Yeah, I think with it being in a playlist, I didn't really pay attention to what the...
No, but from what you said, I think you enjoyed the production on, I think Oceanic especially.
Yes.
With the one with the beginning and the end on.
That drum sound on that album is like the drum sound in my head, I think. Yes. I think that's what I expect to hear from a lot of production, but...
It's perfect.
It's amazing. That snare, the first hit, listeners, if you want to go away and listen to like the perfect snare sound, put that track on, the beginning
and the end?
Beginning and the end, and just listen to the first 2 seconds where the snare drum hits, and it's like, oh...
Dun.
That's it.
There you go.
That was it. You know that film very well.
Yeah. I'm glad you listened to it, dude.
Yeah, thank you for putting it together.
That's okay. I mean, I've not received a playlist in return yet, but we might get there one day.
Well, it's probably going to be just Big Wreck and...
Oh, yeah, that's true. What have I been listening to?
What have you been listening to, Dan?
That's a good question. That is a good question. Just have a little look. Oh, it's a bit embarrassing, really, but I listened to the Parallax Method the other day.
Oh, dude. It was you that's been listening to it.
It's me. And, sorry... I've been listening to the EP that had me on it.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Ben.
So's Ben. I was listening to myself.
Have you got a favourite moment on that EP?
I mean, this is even more embarrassing because I played it, but I can't really remember what song it is, but they're... Is it Radagash? I can't remember. Or is it Algorithm?
I think it's an algorithm.
It's an algorithm. It's just groovy. It's groovy. I love it. I was having a little reminisce, I was.
Well, I remember back then when we were having the practice sessions at the Rocking Rooms.
Oh, yeah.
In Langley Mill. With Rocking Rooms Rob. And I remember you just like prattling about doing that riff because you were listening to a lot of Tesseract at the time.
Oh,
so I think that was probably where the inspiration come for it.
Oh, probably, yeah. Yeah, it was Tesseract age, that was.
Indeed.
T-Chat, dude.
T-Chat with Danny and Dan.
We're drinking tea.
Should we have do you want me to sample first this time?
Yeah, go on, have a sample.
Here we go.
It's a controversial one, this one is.
Oh, God.
I heard the gulp, but you never slurp.
Oh, it's got lavender in it.
So tell the listeners which tea
it's got
it is.
A lot of lavender in it, Dan.
It's a bag full of lavender, I think.
Oh, God.
And Rice Krispies by the looks of it. Look at the bag.
Oh, God.
The bag looks like it's something that I was brought up.
I do not recommend this tea bag. It's horrible.
It's sleep, is it?
It's really, really bad. I just have bad experiences with lavender. Not to lower the mood, but in the past, I had quite a bad spell of suffering with anxiety and like not realising it. And when I started to figure it out, I was like frantically trying to find things that would help me. And one of the things was lavender on your pillow.
It's known to be calming. It's known for that.
That's what I thought. So I bought this like little pipette of lavender.
Lavender juice.
And I like dropped it on my pillow.
Yep.
And then I tried to get sleep that night. And I'm not exaggerating. It felt like my eyes were burning.
They probably were.
It took my mind off what I was worried about. And I was like, my eyes!
Because she's been blinded by lavender.
Yeah, I felt like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall when he's on, when he's on Get Your Ass to Mars.
When he's on Mars.
Yeah.
His eyes are bulging. Oh, dude, it's disgusting.
Yeah, this is bad. Do not recommend this cup of tea.
It's in a lovely spider-woven silken bag, but unfortunately, T-Pigs, you fucked up this time.
You've missed the mark with this one.
You missed the mark.
Oh, it's really, really bad.
It's overpoweringly lavender. It's also got apple and chamomile in there as well. I can taste a bit of apple. Have another try.
No, I don't. You've got a more refined palate.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, dude, I fear that there's going to be laxative effects with this one. That's what I fear.
Why, do you feel a poo coming?
No. I fear that consuming something this bad is going to have some sort of after effect.
Oh, dude, I think we should end it there. Let's end this intro. Should we crack on with the pod?
Let's crack on with the pod.
And let's hope you don't poo yourself. Enjoy, listeners.
Enjoy.
Here we go.
Dan, who's on the podcast this week?
It's Stephen Nunn. Welcome, Stephen.
Hello there. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I was off camera just saying I'm quite tired from the weekend, but
what have you been up to?
We had a show the weekend. We headlined our first festival, so that was kind of cool. But it was one of them where, because you're headlining, you've got to be there from like the crack of dawn, like you've got to be there first person there, then you've got to stay for the entire day, and then you've got to wait 10 hours before you're on stage. So there was a lot of waiting around, a lot of drinking, and then trying to stay sober. And then obviously a long journey home, and then lots to do. I'm a video editor, like my job, so I've had a lot of editing to try and fill in as well. So yeah, it's just been busy, but good busy. So it's not bad.
So it's been crazy then for you. Do you want to talk about what bands and projects you're currently in?
Yes, I think. Well, I've played with you guys. I've played with Dan.
Well, I was in the background somewhere.
You were there. We met. And that was when we were playing with my my country band, the Westlands.
Awesome as well.
Yeah, brilliant band. We thoroughly enjoy listening to that band.
Yeah, it's a bit different because it's more like that one's like it's a passion project. I love country music, and I just always wanted to write sort of country rock and that kind of stuff. And this weren't at the time when I started doing it years ago. There was no one else doing it, and now all of a sudden the country music scene is kind of exploded. Like it's done really well over the last few years, but
yeah.
From a gig's point of view, it's been more difficult because it's mostly festivals and things that you get for that sort of genre.
Yeah.
Rock bars haven't quite bought into it just yet.
Give it time. We're talking about just the UK in particular. Have you gigged with the band?
We've had offers to go out. I've got a lot of connections in America actually, and we've had some offers, but it's a very expensive trip, and it's quite difficult with the band that particular. regular band's set up at the moment because of everybody's jobs. Whereas with the other band, which is extremely busy at the moment, the Soul Revival, that's completely different. It's heavy rock mixed with a bit of classic rock and heavy blues is probably the best way of describing it. And that's the band that I'm most actively working on at the moment. It's just, it's kind of found its legs quite quickly. We only released our first single back in January, and already we've got some amazing shows lined up for next year. So yeah, that's the band at the moment that we seem to be putting a lot of time and effort into. So yeah, it's going to be busy, and I enjoy it because it's just more of a sort of high octane, super high energy kind of thing, and I think that gets all my hyperactive personality out. It allows me to be calm, so the missus ain't always telling me off at home.
Oh, fair enough. You need something, don't you?
Yeah. Let off some steam.
I have got too much energy. It's crazy,
dude. If it's got your voice on it, it's
very different.
Really like your voice.
The biggest difference, though, is singing with Emma, who's the other singer in the Westlands, and singing on my own in the Soul Revival, is I'd never, ever had to do harmonies with anyone ever before other than myself on recordings. So I was really used to doing my own harmonies. Yeah. So singing with a female vocal, I found that really, really difficult because as soon as I hear someone else's voice, I just want to follow what they're doing straight away.
Yeah.
And but with Emma's voice, because I've got quite a sort of harsher sort of rock tone to my voice, and she's got this really nice angelic kind of almost R&B-esque kind of voice that just seems to work with rock. Yeah, so I found that quite difficult to sort of learn, but yeah, the heavier stuff is not crazy heavy, but it's definitely more suited to my vocal, I think.
Yeah, so you've got the rock snarl going on underneath, all that kind of grit going, haven't you?
It's weird because that's developed like really late. I was in a band years ago called Piston, and we did really well. But I always found that I was singing in a sort of higher end range of my voice for quite a while, and it actually damaged my voice. I think I'm pretty certain it's damaged because I can't hit some of the notes that I used to hit like anywhere near. I used to get ridiculous, but I was almost forcing it too much. And over time, it's kind of worn and worn. And then I stopped singing completely when my daughter was born for a few years, actually. And it's only in the last couple of years I kind of got back into it. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's this natural gravel that's appeared that just seems to be there, which I kind of like. And I'm hoping there's nothing actually wrong with my voice. But nothing's hurting. And I'm singing probably the biggest songs I've ever sung. Nothing seems to be hurting me. And the range is slowly starting to come back. Which is encouraging. But yeah, it's weird how that's appeared because it's only appeared probably in the last 5 or 6 years.
That is interesting, isn't it?
Interesting, but it works. Yeah. Like I said, keep it. Hopefully you don't lose it.
Yeah. No, it's kind of working at the moment. So I want to keep it as much as I can.
Definitely working.
Yeah, don't go cleaning your voice up. Keep that grit. It works really well.
No, absolutely. So no, I was just going to say, it's weird because there's like, you hear different influences in people's voices, I think. And I think I said to you when I heard a couple of different voices when I heard you singing, and it's strange how like over time, I think you pick up all these different influences and then eventually you find your own voice. I think it's just took me a long time to get to what I now feel is my own true voice rather than just being an amalgamation of others.
Yeah. I think I can relate to that, mate, because I don't really consider myself a singer at all. I think you speaking personally, I had to kind of accept the way I sounded over time because I was always trying to manipulate my voice. Like, am I supposed to sound like this? Is it supposed to sound like that? Especially when you go through different registers. And I don't know if you find this, but when you sing, what you're hearing in the moment isn't exactly what you hear when you play it back. Like it's got for me anyway, it's got a different tone to it. Like I found I was singing quite dark for quite some time, so I wasn't like allowing the voice to enter like the nasal cavities in a way. And the more you experiment with it and like prat around in a way, you sort of take yourself a little bit less seriously, and it extends your range as well, doesn't it? When you allow the voice to kind of, we've got a Dan's got this character, his name's Jim Partial, and basically his voice does this thing. It's like hello, and it's got this like almost like witch's kind of cackle to it.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It is horrible. But when you want to hit those higher notes, it seems to help in some sort of strange way.
Yeah, no, I think he does. I think Miles Kennedy was I watched Miles Kennedy on a podcast with a lady she's got a YouTube channel called The Charismatic Voice.
Yeah, she's brilliant. I've watched loads of her stuff.
Yeah, and Miles Kennedy interview on there, and he was saying that he knows that he kind of sits almost in that sort of nasally box area.
Yeah.
Because even though in isolation he thinks it doesn't sound like that appealing, in the context of a live mix, it actually works.
Yeah.
So it's strange that how he's adjusted the tonal quality of his voice to sit in a mix rather than trying to gel it around what the band are doing. He's actually blended it in as opposed to trying to sing over the top of everything. I thought it was a really interesting way of thinking about it. And I kind of I listened to all these different interviews like that, and I tried to take little bits of each one in and try and use them where I can.
Well, it's working, dude. It's working.
Bit of light and shade.
Yeah, definitely.
Really enjoy your voice.
So, have you got like a particular warm-up routine, and have you had lessons at any point, Steve?
I actually sang probably more operatic style stuff when I was younger.
Oh, wow, okay.
So the only training I ever had was more for like musical theatre and probably more attuned to opera as opposed to rock, because I know for a fact my music teacher actually follows me still on Facebook and stuff, and when I first started doing the whole rock thing, there was like just comments all the time, you're doing everything we've taught you, it's all wrong. So what you do is you take everything you get taught in classical. I mean, I only have a few lessons, I didn't have like years and years, it was like a year maybe I had of lessons, and basically you just take all the information that you've learned and then do it all wrong, and then you get rock. Well, but there are some things I would recommend that all rock singers do though, and the main ones is some of the breathing techniques to belt your big notes. I can belt a big note and hold it for like a really sustained amount of time, and I get asked all the time how I do that, and I was just like, now it's become kind of natural. But if I actually think about it, I'm setting my breathing just before I go into that, and I'm making sure that I've got all this chest space wide open, and I'm basically pushing from my gut up, like to really belt that, the notes out. I'm not trying to force it. I'm just trying to let as much air through as like humanly possible. Now, like I said, I don't really think about it. I used to have to sort of squeeze up into a ball to do it, and then this singing teacher taught me you don't need to do that at all. You just need to open your mouth a little bit wider. You just need to breathe properly. And he taught me this little weird technique where you do these sort of pulsing out breaths first to sort of get rid of all the air, then suck the air in and then go. And it was like really confusing to get my head around at first, but it does work.
Yeah, I suppose you find really what works for you, doesn't it? Don't you? You hear that with a lot of singers, that particular warm-ups. That work for some people more than others,
I honestly don't warm up. I never have done.
Oh, wow.
I never warm up. What I do actually, I suppose it's a warm up, but because country music's much easier to sing than the heavy stuff. So I did the festival the weekend where it was all rock and metal all day long. I was listening to Post Malone's new album, which it's like one of my favourite albums of the last 3 or 4 years. It's just brilliant. He's done like a country album, but all the songs are relatively easy to sing, and every now and then he just goes up into a slightly higher sort of range, so that gives. And I just sing along to those songs in the car on the way to the gig, and I just find that by the time I get there, I feel somewhere near warm and ready to go. And then the only thing I do before I go on stage is because I know I've got this. Just want to make sure my throat's full. I do these weird grunting noises like just before I go on, but really quite loud and expressive. Sound like an absolute weirdo. But
give us a blast now.
I just literally, I'll just stand back there and I'll just go. It's like just to try and get anything that's in there, like because I'm crap. I eat all the wrong things. I'll drink the wrong things. I definitely eat the wrong things. Like you were at the Gifford, weren't we? Like when we last saw each other. I was over the chicken shop an hour before I went on stage eating fried chicken, spicy fried chicken.
It's not the worst thing ever.
I do everything wrong. It seems, but whilst it's working, I'm not going to change anything. So
exactly.
Yeah, well, that's it, Steve. But I mean,
ask me in another 10 years when I've got no voice.
We'll do this again in 10 years and see what state you're in.
Yeah, you sound like the guy from Dream Theater. What he sounds like now.
Oh God. I've got a cold beer on the go right now.
Oh, they're nice. I've not.
These Brewdog things are amazing. They're like £1 a can. It's incredible, and it's the best lager I've tasted in ages. So there you go.
Is it just like basic lager? Because it's got that's the can for it, isn't it?
It is. It's just like a cold beer. Even my daughter thought the name was quite funny. But yeah, yeah,
awesome.
It's my editing juice.
I just want to touch on the subject that you've just said about, kind of, I just crack on and get on with it. Sometimes I've gone too far the other way in like trying to prepare for a show. Yeah, where I worry, like, oh God, is the voice going to be there? Is it going to be? Am I going to be all right? And then I warm up way too early, spend way too long warming up, and then I'm like, I can't eat that, and all I'm drinking is water, and then. But like the thing is, sometimes, in fact, most of the time, I'll just come into the studio and I'll run through my set or I'll do some recording, and I barely do anything. And it feels dead comfortable and it's fine. I think it's like a state of mind sometimes.
A lot of it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you think about it, it's all just muscles and whatnot. And, you go into the gym. I used to train a lot when I was younger. I've done boxing. I've played professional sports in the past as well with football. And whenever I used to go into the gym, I always used to have this mentality of these people used to say, well, you can't do legs 5 times in a week because you've already done it. You've got to recover. And I'm like, but if my legs feel good, I'm going to do it again. Yeah. And I've just always gone with my intuition and how I feel. And also, I think for years when I first started, I was quite worried about what I was going to sound like, so I would over-analyse and would, like you just said, maybe over-prepare. Whereas now it's just like, I'm singing live for a start. I'm going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I kind of got it into my head quite early on. I was like, if you just accept the fact that you definitely are going to probably make some kind of mistake during your set, you won't worry about making one because you already know it's there and you just move on from it much quicker. And also, nobody sings pitch perfect, so stop trying to think that you've got to. So, and once I stopped doing that, all of a sudden now I go on stage, I see people. Emma's brilliant, she won't mind me telling you this, but when I sing with Emma, don't matter what size gig we do, she will pace everywhere before we go on stage, and I'm like, why are you so nervous? Oh, we're going out in front. And I'm like, Emma, you sound amazing every time, just go and bloody sing, and if you don't sing amazing, who gives a shit? Just rock on to the next gig. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think the problem is though is the social media thing now, because everything gets recorded. So,
there's a lot of pressure with it, isn't there?
You hit a bum note or something, it's like, wow.
Some of the first gigs we played were definitely not recorded, thankfully.
They're lost in the
lost to the ebbs of time. Yeah. Thank God. But we didn't have that to worry about, did we? Really?
You can guarantee every time though that there'll be a clip that shows up on social media. It will be the clip of that little passage that you got wrong. It won't be the rest of it that you. You're like, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, I purposely put all your bad bits up, Danny, the other day.
We only do, in the Soul Revival, we only do one cover, right? And it's a really heavy version of Come Together by the Beatles.
Oh, nice.
It was like really, like way heavier than it should be. But I cannot remember. And I've just got to the point now where if we do it, I will just tell everyone, the words are here, are taped to my thing. I'm gonna look at them, and I'm still gonna get them wrong. So if you lot can help, me get sing along with it, and it kind of breaks the ice a little bit. It's a little bit of a laugh and a joke. People know I'm not taking myself too seriously, so therefore they have a good time with it, and it's just a bit of fun. Then it makes the song actually more enjoyable to do because the song's a pain in the arse. It makes I'd love to know what they were taking when they wrote that song.
Well, probably when was it written? It was their drug years, wasn't it? Was it the drug years?
God, it's got to have been a bag of mushrooms or something.
I think so.
It's got to have been.
It was on LSD years.
LSD years, there's on LSD and all sorts.
So when I write songs, in order for me to remember them, because my memory's not brilliant, I write songs in stories. That's why all my favourite musical people are storytellers. And that's why I like country music, I think, and people like Miles Kennedy, Chris Cornell, those types of guys, because even their singing style draws you into the story of the song. I think Watch Over You, like by Miles Kennedy, when he's just playing it acoustically, is like the best example of that ever. But the problem was, so when I write a song, I write a story, and then it just flows then, because I remember things in pictures. So if I can remember the first line of what it is, the rest of the song will flow, because I know that it's following almost a path to the story. So there's no way I'm going to forget it. And even if I do, I'm pretty good at coming up with stuff on the spot. So I'll be able to flow with the story and rhyme with it anyway. So I find that's why I'll get to my obsession, my musical obsession in a moment, where I'm sure when we talk about the band. But my favourite artist of all time is the best storyteller in the world, and I kind of base my lyrical writing on some of his styles.
Excellent.
Well, talking about that, shall we move on to the Dream Band process, Danny?
Let's do it.
This is going to be a weird one for you boys, I think.
Well, we're looking, as long as they're actual real people and not made up cartoon characters, we'll be fine with that.
They're real people, but as I've said, I've got a terrible memory, so I have written all this down.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I've got it all in front of me.
No problem at all, mate.
The first question,
800 times.
Yeah, you'll find that. The first question though is an easy one. So, what position are you in this band? What are you playing?
If I have to have a part in the band, I would have to sing. I can't do anything. I could just about play guitar, play a bit of bass, can hit the drums. Can't say I play them. So I'd have to sing.
It's a strong vocal.
That's a very strong vocal.
I don't think I could do any of the other jobs.
If you weren't singing though, who would you have as your dream vocalist?
100% Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler.
Oh,
is that a second time for him? Second time has been picked.
I think hands down the greatest greatest rock vocalist of all time.
Is insane, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's just nothing that guy can't sing. And that's how I kind of judged it. It was like, if I had a band and I was putting one together, I'd want it to be quite a versatile band.
Yeah.
But he would be able to sing anything from screamo rock right the way through to metal. He could definitely do rap, because he's kind of done that in parts as well. Because I love hip hop influences. So Steven Tyler would be able to do all of that and some. So I think
this is massive lips. He's got humongous lips, hasn't he?
Well, that's where his tone is.
He's got a gigantic gob.
Yeah, it's his whole mouth section, isn't it?
It's going to help with like resonance, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
But his jaw's massive as well. Have you ever seen his jaw's huge? The guy's got a big head.
I think it detaches like a snake. That's what I imagine.
It's like it just opens up and there's another one inside.
Another mouth inside for the quiet bits.
He harmonises with himself.
It sounds like he does.
The miniature Steven Tyler head that pops out like Alien.
We have to kind of create that in art, some kind of art form.
If I could have anybody's range, it would be his. But he's got the range, but he's also got that raspy quality to the voice as well. That some people lose when they go up into the higher register. He doesn't. He still maintains it. He just sounds incredible.
That's ridiculous.
It's class.
Have you got a favourite song with him on?
Do you know, I haven't, because I was never really I'm not an Aerosmith fan. Every time I've heard his voice, I just love it. The one that actually I heard was, he was the best one I ever heard. He was playing in a montage of, there was like a whole bunch of artists all playing on the same stage. I forget what it was. It was for it was like an award of some description that someone else was getting, and he was singing on it. And he started off on by a piano. Some lady was playing piano, and I just heard him start, and his voice was just really soft and sort of really low, these low parts. And by the end of it, he was screaming, but it was still perfectly in tune with the rest of the song. I was just listening, just thinking, what is that magic? Like, and I think it wasn't even that long ago either when I sort of made this decision. He was the best singer, but he's not in my favourite band. That's the only downside. I'm not a gigantic fan of the songs. It's just, but his voice, his vocal quality was just insane.
Yeah. But he shines, doesn't he?
His delivery, his vocal delivery is amazing.
I strangely, for someone that plays in a rock band, don't listen to a whole lot of rock music.
Fair enough.
I don't listen to loads. I listen to bits of everything. I'm really eclectic with music. It's very hard with it.
Best way to be, mate.
It can only help, can't it?
Variety is the spice of life, one might say.
Variety indeed. Anyway, we've got some rules.
We have got some rules.
Time for the rules, better.
We hope you're aware already, but here they are.
I've tried to make sure of these rules. I've been cross-referencing them. I've probably done way too much work for this. I've been trying to make sure they haven't.
No, this is good. It gets me angry when guests break the rules. So,
I'm going to try my best not to.
So, Danny,
I've even picked alternatives just in case I do.
Good. Danny, what's the first rule?
First rule: you cannot have been in anyone. Oh God!
Do you want to try again?
I always trip over myself with this rule.
You could not be in anyone.
I need to find a streamlined way of saying it.
You've said it a million times.
No, but I say it differently every single time.
I mean, it's there. We've got a handy iPad available that you can just read from.
Let's mix things up. You take that rule for me. I'll do the next one.
Okay. So the first rule is you can't have any current or past band. I can't say it now. Oh my God! No current or past band. What's happening? No current or past band members in your band. Did I say that or not?
Yeah,
someone that I've played with before, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. I get it, yeah. Luckily, I've heard the show before.
Yeah, thank God. The second rule, Danny.
You can't choose more than one member from the same band. Why would you? Why would you even do that?
I didn't. I don't think I've done that. No.
Well, we'll tell you if you have. We'll remind you.
Either during the interview or in the evaluation when we found out afterwards.
Either way.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, no, I don't think I have anyway. I don't think I have. So hopefully I haven't.
Okay, we'll have a nice time then.
Let's try.
Okay, first up,
your dream drummer.
So I've gone weird on this one, maybe.
Oh,
I heard one of your previous guests, I think on your first episode, that went with a social media person. And I'm going to do the same, I think.
He did, Martin went with a guitarist, social media, didn't he? Okay, who is it?
Yeah, I'm going to go with, and I can't say his name, but it's Estepario Cibriano.
Brilliant. You made it really easy for us there. Thank you.
Is it the guy with the beard and the nose piercing? Is it him?
Yeah.
Oh, the one stick. The one stick guy.
He's flipping amazing.
The one who can play, he can play with one stick, he can play with 6 sticks at once, he can play with 3 snares all at the same time. He can play, it's insane like what he does. But I'll tell you what, I became more impressed with him. Obviously all of his tricks and fills and the timing and just how bloody quick he can play without missing a beat is incredible. But I actually really got impressed with him when I heard him playing his actual new band, which is called The Cost.
Okay.
Which are a very good band, I really like. And then all of a sudden, all those tricks and flicks had gone. And he was just playing it as it should. Like every now and then there was just a little stab of flair, just like jotted in there, just to remind everyone I am drum YouTube god, right? Just to remind everyone. But then, he was playing for the song, not to show off or do any of that. And then immediately, then I was like, okay, this guy's a proper drummer. He's not just
It's not one trick pony on social media.
But the song, the song, if you've not seen any of his stuff, I don't know how much stuff you've ever seen of his, go and watch the drum cover he does of Rap God by Eminem.
Is it mad?
I might have seen a short clip of that, actually. I've seen a lot of his stuff.
It's insane. Just the whole, like, the way he's come up with it all, like the way he flips a snare upside down and uses the springs underneath as like another instrument, and then he's got like a double stick thing going on over here whilst he's blast beating something over here. And there's a section where in Rap God where Eminem raps like ridiculously fast. He's like just a word like every half, like a quarter of a second. He's like he's just playing at such an incredible speed, and he's not missing a beat. It's insane. Sometimes you're watching it and you're thinking, where's that snare shot? I've had to watch it back and slow it down on YouTube because I'm like, I'm sure I can hear a snare that he's not hitting, so maybe he hasn't played this live. And then you go back, you slow it down and you go, fuck, he did it. Like, how's he doing that?
He is a madman and a great choice. I wouldn't even thought about him, but it comes up all the time, and I can't skip his videos because they're so impressive. I'm like, oh my God, what's he doing now?
He's unreal. But also in my band, just to give you an idea of what I want my band to be, they're going to be quite eclectic. It's going to be heavy. There's going to be some funk elements in there as well, but it's going to be heavy with tinge of funk.
Yeah,
and I think he could do all of that. No
class. Honourable mention. Dream drummer. Yeah. Honourable mention.
Dream drummer. I've caught your disease now.
Oh, you don't want that disease.
At least we know when At least we know when we've got a keen listener, because they pick up on the things that we get wrong.
Dream drummer.
Dream
Well,
drummer.
One of the other drummers that I most watch again on YouTube is Michael Jackson's drummer, Sugarfoot, Jonathan Moffat.
Indeed, I watched him yesterday actually on YouTube.
A lot of his Drumeo videos.
Yeah, I love Drumeo. Drumeo is amazing, isn't it?
Not a fancy drummer. Like,
Solid.
he's not overly fancy, but I think Michael Jackson described him as a human metronome.
Yeah.
His timing was just ridiculous. And what I love about when you're watching him, you could just see how in the zone he is. And when you're playing in a band, all you want your drummer to be is in time. That's it. Like, at the bare minimum, I would rather sacrifice flair and style for just good timing.
Yeah.
And I think some people probably go too far with, trying to want to look like a great drummer rather than just being one.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, he would have been the drummer, but I just think Estepario he's just a different beast. He's a crazy man.
Absolutely crazy man.
I like his beard.
He's cool as fuck, isn't he? Cool as fuck.
Yeah, he is cool.
Dude, I'll have to say, just remind me of your drummer's name. Yeah,
Carl.
Carl. So I was talking to Carl at the gig.
Carl actually has been helping the Westlands out. He's actually the drummer from the Soul Revival. He's helped the band out while the other drummer from the Westlands had an extended break. Well,
I was checking.
He's a great blend of both, actually. Great drummer, great timing, but also he's a showman.
Well, I was having a chat with him after the gig, and I was saying to Cole that he's just like, his groove was awesome, and he was like locked in with everything.
Yeah, he is. It's so good having, especially with the Soul Revival, because the guys. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if you've seen the guys yet, but even Higgy on bass, Andy, by the way, Andy Dove, he's got a YouTube channel. He's got quite a few followers. He'd be a great guy. He'd be an amazing guy to have on this because his musical knowledge is outrageously good. But he's one of the best guitarists I've ever seen, let alone play with. Forget, just full stop on it. But he doesn't know how good he is. It's a joke. And then you've got Higgy, who is just super solid. Everything's always bang on, but again, he's got flair when he needs it. Yeah. And Carl, and all you want behind you is just, that as a singer, when that pocket hits and that drop comes and your vocal's meant to kick in at a particular time, it's all going to be there. There's not going to be any. So that's timing for me is such a big one, because I'm not a great guitarist, but I would say that what I lack in ability, I make up for with just good timing and just playing things simple, but right. Timing.
Yeah, play it right.
So, yeah.
You can play a wrong note, but if you play that note at a time
and with confidence, that's how I survived.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can use the chromatic scale for anything, can't you? But it's like if you play something out of time with everyone else, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Even to a non-musician, it's like, oh, that's
wrong note in time.
Yeah,
it could be on purpose.
Yeah,
it could maybe
play the right note at a time. Shit. Play the wrong note in time. Acceptable.
Could be acceptable.
Especially if it's classed as outside.
Neither's wanted.
No. Just play it right.
Is this prog?
Yeah. That he would be my honourable mention anyway. He's a super drummer.
These are great choices. We're on to your next member.
Your dream? Are you having a rhythm player? A rhythm guitarist?
I was thinking about this, whether I needed one or not, but if I was going to go with one, I'd want someone who was dependable, again with the timing thing. I don't know that he's that versatile a player, but I'm sure he could play anything I wanted him to play. And I would he doesn't want to hog the limelight either. I would go with Malcolm Young.
Oh, AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
I did not see that coming either.
No, because I want that. See, I want the hard hitting, the hard hitting stuff. but I do also like occasionally throwing a little bit of just funkiness in there because I like to boogie, right? So, but I just think someone like Malcolm Young, you could just say, Malcolm, these are the cut. This is the song, just and he's just going to be on point, and he's never
get on with it. Get on with it, Malcolm.
He's going to get on with it. He's going to sit. He's going to stand in the back. He's going to play what he needs to go. He's going to let everyone else. I think of the rhythm guitarist like a really good centre midfielder. You shouldn't really notice them if they're doing their job properly.
Yeah.
They should just be dictating the game, like a Michael Carrick, like old school,
Yeah, classic.
That's how I think of a rhythm guitarist.
It's a good analogy, really. I like that. It's not a flashy striker like Haaland or Petrucci in the kind of guitar world.
Does his job and does it consistently well.
Yeah, fair enough.
I lost football interest from like 1995, so anything past then.
I suppose who would be 1995 back then?
I'm like in the Steve Bruce realm, the
defender, solid defender.
Yeah. Exactly, just solid and dependable. That's all you want from your rhythm guitarist. I think you don't need anything flash.
Steve Bruce looks like a dinner lady nowadays.
But yeah, I would go. Yeah, well, Malcolm Young. I think if I went with another guitarist as an honourable mention, as a rhythm guitarist, for his energy that he would bring, so he would be slightly different. He'd be an alternative option to Malcolm Young. Would be Dave Grohl.
Oh, okay.
As a guitarist.
It's actually very well documented how good Dave Grohl is with his timing.
Yeah, he's incredible. Yeah.
I don't know if you read the interview where somebody was talking about the way he records in the studio. He double tracks guitars, and he'll record one, and then when he goes to record the other one, he mutes the other one completely, which is like that's complete alien to me. That is,
yeah.
And then he puts them back in, and they're like bang on.
Wow.
But he also said, I watched an interview of him before, he said he actually plays the guitar as though he's playing a drum set, and he treats the low end strings as the kick and the toms, and then the splashes of sort of high end would be cymbals, and it's just like bizarre way of thinking about it, but I suppose if it works, it works.
Yeah,
he's doing something right. I also like the fact that his head just looks like it's permanently going to fall off whilst playing and singing, which seems impossible to do. But yeah,
like a Pez dispenser.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so he would be my backup choice.
Brilliant. Have you ever seen AC/DC?
Not live, no. I haven't. No. I would love to.
Have you got a favourite track at all that you would like a standout riff?
I love, obviously it's standard, but I love the Thunder track, and I've got a DVD that I watched. I think they were playing in Argentina. I want to say it was the River Plate Stadium. I think it was River Plate Stadium, and when that song comes on in a stadium, see, this is one of the reasons why I don't listen to a lot of rock, because rock doesn't come across to me in the same way that it does live. When I go and watch it live, I bloody love it, and then I listen to the record, I go, man,
lost all its energy.
He's lost everything. He's lost everything. Like the whole point in the music is the energy, and I think now as well. Also, the recordings are just way too polished. And he just loses all of that. Yeah, I hate like some modern rock now is just too much. Yeah, indeed. But when you hear that live and you hear the thud of the crowd and the clap of the hands and everything combined, it has to just be one of the best intros to a song ever. Which is something else music don't do anymore. No good intros anymore in music.
Oh, you're right. Actually,
no. Well, I think it's because a lot of people's attention spans
are gone before
depleted, haven't they? Because
they didn't make it to the chorus.
No,
you're probably right.
I actually did some research on this, and apparently the reason why songs are shorter now, if you look in the charts, the average song's about 2 minutes 38 again. And the reason for that is because all the algorithms for social media will place you higher if a higher percentage of a song is listened to. So if your song is 5 minutes long and people listen to 2.5 minutes, well, they've only listened to 50% of the song. But if your song is 2 minutes 30 and they listen to 2 minutes 20, well, they've listened to 80% of the song. So therefore, they're going to push that in their algorithm further.
Yeah, it makes sense, but
it's sad, isn't it?
So make a long version and a short version of every song.
I'm a fan of prog rock, so all the stuff I listen to is about 7-8 minutes at the shortest. I know,
isn't it? It's absolutely ruined. It's never gonna
come back, is it? No. Not in this day and age.
Since when should art be measured by statistics?
By an algorithm?
Yeah.
I know, it's bad really, isn't it?
AI starts to really kick in, and then we've all had it.
I know. It won't be long either, will it? So enjoy this while we can. We'll be replaced.
Yeah. So hopefully not live.
No. And we can still do this live if we wanted.
Who knows? There might be like in androids walking around playing.
Probably.
Yeah.
With perfect timing.
I think Those About to Rock as well. Again, that's just another one. A really simple song. Whole Lot of Rosie. Whole Lot of Rosie was the first AC/DC cover I ever did as well. I was like, love that song.
Oh,
that was
well up here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's probably the song that messed up my voice. I used to play in a covers band years ago, so that was probably what did me.
Well, if it added that rasp to your voice, it was worthwhile.
I genuinely think actually it was the Bon Jovi tribute I did that messed up my bloody voice, because people don't realise how good that guy is at singing until you try and sing one of his songs properly.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
It's hard.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Flipping hard.
I was really a huge Bon Jovi fan.
Yeah, you love him, don't you?
Yeah.
Not of recent. I'm not really a fan of the music since.
He's kind of gone country now as well.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just kind of lost its mojo for me a little bit.
He's got no voice left.
No.
His voice is just shot.
It's all gone.
Sad, isn't it?
It's all gone. It goes for everyone eventually, doesn't it? But
apart from Michael Bolton.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, for those obvious reasons as well, I'd have to have Malcolm Young in his prime as well.
Of course, we'll de-age him. We'll de-age him.
Well, we'll resurrect.
Was it dead?
Yeah.
I didn't realise he was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could have all these people in their prime, that'd be awesome.
Right, next.
I'll stay there.
Next member.
It's time for your dream bass player.
Okay, right.
Are you a fan of bass players, first of all? Because we've had a few guitarists and singers and stuff that don't seem to enjoy the joy of a bass player, really.
I actually quite enjoy watching. I watch on YouTube is just random YouTube musicians. So like people like Davey 504 and
Danny Sacco and Charles Bertard. Is it?
There's like loads of these guys, but that's how I've actually ended up coming across a lot of bass players. But no, my new favourite bass. He's not he's not fancy. This is back to this whole rhythm section. We're going to get fancy in a minute.
Okay.
But I want also exquisite backing vocals. See, I don't want to do the really high stuff. So I need someone who can go high, and then another person in the band who can go a bit higher. Right.
Fair enough.
So Todd Kearns, who is Slash's current bass player.
Great choice.
Did a little bit of digging because I didn't know much about his previous playing. He was in a band called The Age of Electric. So I've been listening to some of them recently. But Slash and the Conspirators I've seen live a couple of times. And when I watched him play, just a brilliant bass player in time, uses a plectrum, I think, which Higgy, I know, wouldn't approve of. But his timing was, again, just immense, as you would expect from musicians of that standard.
Yeah.
But his backing vocals to Miles Kennedy were outrageous. Yeah. Like, he actually has one song in the set where he sings the song and Miles has a little rest. And I was just like, what the
wow.
Why is this guy not a front man?
Yeah. Multifunctional.
He's unreal.
Have I seen him? Would he have played when I watched Slash? And was he?
Yeah. Well,
so
it's like big.
He's been in the Conspiracy since the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have seen him. Yeah, I would have seen him then.
Big tall dude with long black hair.
Oh yeah.
Very straight black hair.
Oh, he's a beast. Yeah, it's like over 6 foot. He's a beast.
He's very quick. Yeah, great choice, mate. Great choice.
His bass tones as well, in particular, especially on the newer stuff that they've done recently with Slash, because obviously their sound has sort of really developed as a band now. It's just, ooh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't nerd out on gear, so I don't know what bass he's playing. But
I think he's a Fender guy, isn't he?
But whatever it is, it sounds fantastic. But
we'll patch in.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll patch in.
Todd Kearns plays prestige basses.
When you hear my other person in a minute with the backing vocals in mind, Todd would brilliantly sit in between me and then the next person vocally as well. So.
Alrighty then.
Because the next person's going even higher.
I'm very intrigued. But first of all, though, have you got an honourable mention for bass?
Yes, the honourable mention, again, is going to be a really weird one, but he's Rhonda Smith.
Rhonda Smith?
I knew
that name. The bass player.
Do I know that name? I don't know. Who does he play for? Where's he from?
Rhonda Smith, I couldn't have in the band because of another choice. I'm going to give it away.
Okay, don't give it away.
Yeah.
Don't give it away.
Right, yeah. But they played, I'll tell you in a minute who Rhonda Smith, what she did. It's obviously a she.
We'll come back to him.
So a female bass player. I actually play with Emma, who's also a bass player. So maybe I've just got a thing for female bass players. Maybe I just like them better. But yeah, Rhonda Smith, phenomenal bass player. Go and check her out afterwards.
Will do. We love checking out all these picks that we've not really heard of before, don't we? It's like a real fun part of the...
She played on a really weird experimental album for this artist that is also in the band, which is why she can't be in the band. 36 tracks on that album is insane. Like, it's ridiculous.
That's like 3 or 4 albums.
But it's very bass heavy. The whole album's quite bass heavy. And she did record on the album, apparently, so, which is unusual for this person as well, because they normally like to do everything.
And I think I know who he's going to pick then.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Potentially.
Okay. We'll lead on to it then, Danny. Do you want to...
The Dream lead guitarist.
Right, this is going to be controversial words next up, but the best guitar player of all time. So I'm putting that out there right from the off.
Okay, that's a bold... That is... I'll just say it. It's a bold claim.
Prince.
Danny hates him. I love him. Danny hates him.
I don't hate him.
You do. We've established in past episodes you hate him.
I hate his guitar.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's shocking.
The silly guitar.
But,
the best guitar was his Telecaster that he played for Let's Go Crazy, which I've got tattooed on my arm here.
Is this your musical hero that you were talking about?
Prince got me into music.
There you go, Danny.
And I think the reason being is because I like people that don't give a shit about what people think, and I like people that stand out, and I like people who are willing to make music, put it out, and even if no one else likes it, they're going to put it out anyway. Hence why Prince has got about 5,000 songs and albums like in his vault. But he just kept making music. Like, he wasn't afraid to be experimental and try new things. That's part of the reason why not having artists like that and David Bowie, who also would try new things, we don't have enough artists that are willing to do that, which is why now we don't get any new sounds. We don't get anybody that really stands out. We just don't get it anymore. And it's because we don't have artists like Prince. No, every one of Prince's songs a hit? Absolutely not. He's got some shocking shit. So for example, Rhonda Smith played on with Prince from 1996 till 2010, and she played on the Emancipation album, which is the one that's got 36 songs. It's very bass driven. It's very smooth, got a bit of an R&B kind of feel to it, but it's also a bit jazzy and experimental at the same time. The entire album is poop. Like in terms of songs that would potentially be hits. But if you was to just break it down musically, what's going on, and vocally what's going on, it's probably genius level musicianship. It's just it didn't translate into good, because brilliant musicianship and brilliant songs don't necessarily translate into brilliant songs that people are going to catch on to and relate to. But that album was musically brilliant, but song-wise was poo. But Prince did that a lot, and that's kind of what I loved about him.
He really didn't care, did he?
Yeah.
He did not care.
And I saw him live 4 times as well, so I don't.
Oh wow!
I don't care. You have to have seen him live as well to have any kind of remote judgment on him, because up until I saw him live, I just thought he was good. And then I saw him live, and first time I saw him, my jaw didn't lift for the entire 3-hour solid show that he played. And not only did he sing like as low as Barry White and as high as Mariah Carey in that show, but he also played guitar, drums, saxophone, everything. Like, he played everything, and he was the best one on the stage at them all. The only person that gave him a run for his money was the saxophone player he played with for years, which was called Maceo Parker. And they had a saxophone duet, like solo off against each other. And
like a duel.
It was just ridiculous. So for versatility and vocal range and just guitar playing is just insane. And when he played with Third Eye Girl, which was probably be more up your street, Danny, because he played a lot of his old songs but he played them in a really sort of stripped back rock kind of style. And when we saw him play that live, it was like, oh, he's a totally different guitarist to what I thought. He could play anything. And then you see him when he played like My Guitar Gently Weeps, and he's got he's got all these mega stars on stage, and then he just comes on and absolutely owns it. If you can have a lead guitarist or vocalist or anybody, I think at that point, then that's where you want your flair and you want someone to stand out. And whenever he started playing, everybody just shut up, watched, and he just took over. His crowd, the way he controlled a crowd as well live, is by far the best I've ever seen anyone do it. And believe it or not, the only person who's ever come close seen live to doing that, this is going to sound like an odd one, was Bruno Mars.
Oh no! That doesn't sound odd at all.
I didn't want to see Bruno Mars. I went and see him because my partner wanted to see him. I went and watched him and walked away and was like, that was flipping brilliant. Like, he was so good at the crowd control. And it's something that, again, not a lot of people are that great at doing, you know, and he was just, I wish more people could have seen him live. And I just wish he wasn't dead.
Well, I was going to, before you just said that, I was going to say, right, okay, give me something to listen to. So what was his first, is it his first band or something? Did you say?
You got
his trio?
No, he played with a band more recently before he died called Third Eye Girl. He famously loved playing with female musicians. Third Eye Girl was like a one-off tour kind of thing that he did, and he was playing smaller venues. It was incredible because obviously he wasn't that far away either. It was just, but when you see him play live, it's strange because when he's doing the music videos, he's just messing it. You know, he's doing it all for the cameras. But when he was playing live, the only way I could describe it, it's like it was another limb. It was just part of him. He wasn't playing it. It was just, I don't know. It was like it was somehow felt connected, and I've never felt that watching anyone else play guitar. And I'm not a mad guitarist, so I don't understand all the technical mumbo jumbo. I just know that when I watched that guy, I was mesmerised. It was incredible.
I've watched some videos of him playing bass, and that's the same. It's like it's another part of it. It's just like one of the most incredible bass players ever. You don't expect it, do you? Really, from
he
can do anything.
I think he was a complete nerd.
Well, there's definitely something wrong with him.
Yeah, he weren't right. He couldn't have been right in the head. You look at his house. His house was, he lived there. He had a studio there. He had his workshop where they made all of his clothes there, and he had staff that just made clothes for him like all day, every day. And he said, that's not normal. You know. But he come from a musical family as well. His dad was a talented writer as well, so he's, but he never quite made it. But that's what I love back in the days, like when record labels used to take a risk, because they knew when they signed Prince that his first album or two were going to be bad. No one was going to get him because he was over the top, sexualized and wearing high heels, and he was doing all this weird shit that no one else really sort of understood until they did. And then the 80s happened, and it was like
perfect. Perfect combination, timing. Really.
Yeah. And obviously when he played with the MPG, New Power Generation, that was the best years of Prince, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you wouldn't see record labels taking that risk anymore, would you? Especially with probably algorithms kind of do it all for them, don't they? These days, is it trending? Yeah. Is it already a product that they can sell?
Statistics based, and we seem to be going that way with everything. I always compare analogies back to sport, but like you look at football now, you don't
XG.
Well, you don't see flair footballers anymore. You don't see players with any real skill because they're all dying out, because now it's just all about data. How many times do they pass the ball forward? How many times and music's becoming, unfortunately, the same. But every now and then you just get like a little nugget of something different. Like go and check out, I'll send you a link afterwards, but there's a link of a song by Willow Smith.
Okay.
You want to hear a great bass player, listen to the bass playing on that song. It's incredible. Like the whole song is a musical masterpiece, yet no one's heard of it, and that's crying shame. Really, it's just like
shame of today, isn't it?
Smith, I think Will Smith's daughter.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
we'll have a little listen to that later.
I wondered why the name sounded familiar.
Not anything. The only reason I came across it was because I was listening to Rick Beata, one of his videos on YouTube. and he was like, is Willow Smith going to potentially save music with her new stuff that she's got coming out? Because it was just, chord progressions were weird, everything was just...
Yeah.
But it was again another female bass player. The woman that played, I forget her name now though, but the woman who plays has got long dreads, but she's bloody brilliant. She was absolutely amazing.
Oh, I think I follow her on Instagram. Actually, I can't
remember her name. It's just gone now from my head, but she's incredible.
Is it the Irish? You mean the Irish girl with dreads?
No.
The one that I'm thinking of is not Irish. No, she's American or something, I think.
Yeah,
I'll have a little look. I'll find out.
African-American lady, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, phenomenal. So there is some good stuff out there.
Have you ever met Prince?
No.
There's a question. What would you think he'd be like to meet? I think he'd be a right weirdo.
I think he'd be really quiet and he probably wouldn't talk very much.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
I don't think he was much of a talker. He didn't do many interviews, did he, or anything like that? He was...
Yeah, he
kind of...
busy writing.
He kind of reminds me in a weird way of the guitarist Andy that I play with now. Because Andy off stage, he's quietly spoken, he's quite softly spoken. The second he starts playing, he turns into an absolute wildebeest. Like just a
wildebeest,
psychopathic, head-banging lunatic. And how he's playing, I'm watching his fingers, and his fingers are moving faster than I've ever seen in anything in my life. And if I could have had a lead guitarist that you said I couldn't have someone that I would play with, but I would put Andy, and this is going to be super high praise for Andy, and if he hears this, but I would put Andy in there with all of the best guitar players I've ever seen.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's really lovely.
He's honestly a joke, and I'm just kind of glad that he doesn't know how good he is, because he keeps him. He's a really humble guy, but ridiculously good. So I'm just glad to be in a band with him.
Well, I've seen his videos. I've been following him for a while, and it was quite funny because after we got to know each other, I looked into Soul Revival and thought, hold on a minute, I follow that guitarist. It's weird,
it's a small world, isn't it?
It's a small world.
Yeah, it's funny because I think he bumps into people and they know him obviously from his YouTube channel and stuff. It's kind of cool, but he did recently, which is worth a watch. He did Bohemian Rhapsody, where he's done he's played every single part and all the harmonies, and he's got 5-6 lots of guitar tracking going on, and he's played the lead line for the vocal, and it's a masterpiece really. But
class! So, I'll have a look.
But yeah, definitely, as a lead guitarist, he would be right up there.
Awesome. A really rock solid honourable mention.
Indeed.
And I'm going to go away and listen to some Prince, and then...
Are you?
Yeah, I will. I'll go away. I'll go away.
I'll force him. I'm going to force him, Steve.
My favourite Prince song of all time is a song called Seven, which is again not a really well-known one. But I'll send you some obscure ones. Musicology is one of my favourite albums of Prince's, but it's not one that he did particularly well. It's the one that he did the 31-21 tour, which is when I saw him at the O2. But that's got some of the best musicality, a bit funky, bit rocky, bit of everything in there. But it was, yeah. I think I kind of like funk music without knowing that I like funk music. It's really odd because I do tend to gravitate towards it slightly. I'm just like, whoa.
Such a little guilty pleasure, obviously.
You have to listen to Corey Wong. If you listen to him.
Oh, I love Corey Wong. And Corey Wong actually played recently at Paisley Palace. He played at Prince's house.
Oh,
really?
He did a show.
A strange link.
He did a show from there playing Prince's guitar. The one that you didn't like. The white one, probably. Is it the white one?
It's just that it looks weird. I'm like, oh, no. Just use that Telecaster. I agree. Use a Telecaster. Not that. I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Weird.
Yeah. It was a statement guitar, wasn't it?
It's kind of the whole symbol thing become his thing, didn't it, for years? I've got it tattooed on me now, so I can't say I don't like people.
Anyway, we will resurrect anyway, so Prince is back alive for this band.
Yeah. All my bands dying. What's going on?
It's all right, they're back alive now. We've soaked them in water for a bit and they're back.
Yeah.
Just add water.
Definitely.
Like one of them little alien toys. You remember them?
Yeah, I can remember them, yeah.
See, I like guitarists who write catchy hooks. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be complicated stuff. Yeah. So, one of the reasons I love Slash so much is because, I can play some Slash solos, and I consider myself a basic guitarist, but they're just hard enough for it to be a challenge, but then just easy enough that, you know, an intermediate player can kind of play them.
Yeah.
And, you know, everyone learns how to play Sweet Child of Mine, but there's a reason for that. You know, it's they're catchy,
amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I think of how many millions he's inspired.
And it's not overly well, yeah. How many people have picked up a guitar because of him? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of that one solo, that one song. Madness, isn't it?
It is quite difficult to play.
Although recently, I think somebody said that, and one of the most influential guitarist in the world ever is Taylor Swift, apparently.
What?
Oh. Okay.
I don't have anything to say about that.
According to this crazy article I read, that apparently Taylor Swift has probably influenced more young kids to pick up a guitar and play, her and Ed Sheeran, than any other guitarist in history, just because of their gigantic, stupid size of following, which I suppose could possibly be true when you think about the number of followers that she's got.
I can't think of one inspiring guitar line from either of them, really.
Well, they don't, do they? They just play.
They don't. They just play
4 chords.
Four chords. Yeah. I suppose anyone can play it.
Well, if kids are picking up a guitar, I suppose that's the start.
I can play a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah, at least they're playing.
I've got I go down some weird rabbit holes with finding new musicians. I've got loads that I know of that no one's ever heard of. I think they're all awesome. There is tons of really great music out there.
Yeah, it's hard finding it.
Ren's the big one.
It's too much. Sorry, who's that?
Have you ever heard of a guy called Ren?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah, we have, yeah.
Yeah, really talented.
Yeah, he's super insane. But again, there's loads of people like that about. You just got to find them, ain't you?
Yeah, just got to dig them out.
Yeah.
Just
rummage through everything.
Instead of digging up the old ones. Anyway, Stephen, it's time to...
Which I seem to be doing.
Dig them up. It's time to summarise your choices.
Summarise.
Oh, this new little thing there.
I did it on a previous episode, and
Did you?
I'm bringing it back.
I missed that one.
I'm digging it up, bringing it back.
Digging it up, bringing it back. That's a subheader for this episode.
Right. Your dream drummer.
Who is it? Who are you picking?
My dream drummer is Esther Pario.
Yeah, we'll spell check that.
The YouTube drummer.
The YouTube drummer. Let's just call him YouTube drummer for now.
The YouTube drummer.
The YouTube drummer, yeah.
Esther Pario, the YouTube drummer. Yeah, he's my drummer for the band.
Your dream rhythm guitarist.
We're going with Malcolm Young. Solid and dependable.
Good old Malk.
When he was alive.
Dug up.
Yeah, in prime condition.
Frank and Dish.
Yeah.
Your dream bass player.
Todd Kearns. And backing vocalist.
Decent. Your dream lead guitarist.
That would be Mr. Prince.
Mr. Prince. Again?
With high vocal and his Telecaster.
Dig him up.
A high vocal, yep.
And
he's doing the top line stuff.
His weird curly guitar. Gotta have that. It's not Prince without that.
We're going to strictly. I've got to be admit. I'm with you a little bit on it. I'm going the Telecaster, the Sunburst Telecaster that he played on Let's Go Crazy with It. That's his guitar for this band.
Fair enough.
You're happy with that? You like Telecasters?
I love Telecaster. It's my favourite type of standard guitar.
Yeah.
And Stephen, what are you going to be in this band?
I'm going to sing or try amongst those people.
You'll be fine, dude. You're fine.
You're going to smash it.
Oh, yeah.
And all those vocals
won't have to
combined.
Sing anything high, that's for sure, with them two.
No, exactly. You can stick within your ideal range, and they can deal with all the rest. It's perfect.
Yeah. Sprinkle them.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, name that band.
Name that band.
Definitely.
What's it being called?
Name your dream band, baby.
Oh no, I didn't think about this bit.
We do insist.
I forgot about this bit.
Good. I like this. I like to watch guests squirm. I do.
I'm going to go with. I'm going to go. I was going to go for something random like raw funk.
Raw funk. It sounds a bit dodgy, though, doesn't it?
So it's got that sort of raw rock vibe along with all those little funk elements in there that I like to sprinkle in.
Decent. Is that spelled with an F or a PH? Good question.
PH. More aesthetically pleasing on a... I suppose.
But we need to know for the T-shirt generator, so see what it comes out with.
Raw funk, yeah, that's it. That sounds good.
Raw funk.
That's it.
I think it works as well.
I think it will, yeah.
Do you think the band will get on?
No, Prince will fall out with everyone.
Yep.
especially if I try to write anything. that'll happen. I reckon the rest of them will get on really well.
So just Prince will have to have his own separate trailer.
Yeah, I just think he might want to be on his own a lot. I don't think he'd be a mixer.
I mean, he's been resurrected. He might come back with a better attitude, maybe.
Well, maybe he can have his own little... You can give him like a little stint where he plays a solo on each instrument and then rein him in.
I don't think he was an arrogant guy. I just think he was very shy and quiet and liked to keep himself to himself. He'll have his own little trailer somewhere. The rest of us will be off having a booze. Be fun.
Done.
Happy times.
Yeah, there you go. That's an eclectic mix of musicians.
Well, yeah.
I like it.
I'm going to go away and listen to all these artists.
Yeah, there's a few need to kind of look at a little bit further.
Yeah. I think it's a good lineup.
What, even with Prince and Danny?
Well, he's using the right guitar for one.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go away and listen to the tracks that Stephen's going to recommend.
Fair enough.
He's heard what I play, knows what music I'm into, so hopefully he drives me in that direction towards...
I will.
You'll be the biggest Prince fan ever by the end of this week.
I've got a tattoo of his other guitar.
Of his face.
Big purple T-shirt and the next shirt.
Yeah. And his guitar. He got one of his guitars.
Yeah,
that'll be
in the background?
What's that?
I'll be playing a show and I'll sit down one day and it'll just be, Dan, where'd you get, what's that you've got? Oh, new guitar, yeah.
I don't know if you spoke to Ben who played bass in my band. He's a huge Prince fan, and he was telling me a story about an album that he recorded, finished it all off, listened to it back, and then just deleted it. I mean, that's just
yeah.
No, Prince, there's probably more than one of the times that happened.
I've heard it. Yep.
I can imagine that happened. Yeah, I can imagine that probably happened a lot. Yeah.
Bloody
it's just
Prince.
mad. He wanted to release everything though, but the record label wouldn't obviously ever let him do that. So,
where can you be found on social, Stephen?
Well, through the band pages predominantly. So you got the Soul Revival. You're going to ask me for our handles, but if you put the Soul Revival, because people keep saying Soul Revival without the. And the is really important because there's an American covers band called Soul Revival.
Oh, I know.
That do soul music.
I know.
We found them.
So people keep linking us. To their page. It's really odd. They must have gained so many followers who have gone, I wasn't sure I was into soul, but I'm gone.
I love it now, yeah.
I'm liking this now.
They are quite good, actually.
I don't think this is it.
Yeah,
this
isn't. They are. Band name's just not. The band name doesn't really fit the band, but there is a reason behind the title. But it's more to do with the drummer of the band. If anybody knows the history of Carl and what happened with his previous band and so all that kind of stuff. So anyone that knows all about that will understand the sort of rebirth almost of feeling like rock. I mean, everybody knows, it's public knowledge that he was in a band called Wolfjaw. And the singer, Tom, who everybody knows on the rock scene, passed away very young. I think he was like 32 or something. It was really sad. Obviously, the whole sort of local rock scene especially, and throughout, they were touring Europe. They were doing really, really well as well. They were signed to a label. They were flying. But obviously, that came to an end. So I kind of left. I wanted to get back into things, and I was like, I really wanted to start another band, and I wanted to contact Carl because I was like, I need an insane drummer. I need a great drummer to build my band. I was like, Carl, what are you doing? And he was like, you know what? Funnily enough, you're the only person that's actually, because I said, look, I've waited what I feel is like a long enough amount of time with his passing to sort of respectfully ask you if you want to do anything else, because I'm not sure that you would want to. But I noticed that the bass player was doing something else at that time. I think he was with These Wicked Rivers.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So, and I was like, well, he's now doing stuff, so maybe Carl would be ready to do stuff. And then when he told me he came up with the name The Soul Revival, I think it was more about him getting his mojo back for wanting to do music again. I think that's where the names come from.
Oh, it's nice. It's got a story behind it. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. So that's where that is, and I think it was also the same for me as well a little bit, because I kind of just fell out with music for quite a while.
It happens. It does happen.
Yeah. I just got sick of the whole sort of record label scene and things like that, because I was working with labels. I was doing a lot of work with them, and I just started seeing it scammy the whole thingies, and I kind of just lost interest. So I just, So it was a bit of a soul revival for me as well. There you go. So the soul revival, it's important.
Okay.
But we're on TikTok everywhere, and the Westlands, obviously, for my country music that we do.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. Thanks for sharing that story. Appreciate that. Thanks for sharing
That's
it.
cool. Yeah. I think it's important to like people know it, because it's like, I think when they hear a couple of the songs that are in the set, the songs make a lot more sense then.
Yeah. Have you got anything up and coming? Any release dates, tour dates?
We've got next year. We've got a full diary. Like it's crazy. Next year, we've just booked some really cool shows like Hard Rock Hell next year. We've got that. We're waiting on a couple of other big festival names. We've got Firevault and a whole bunch of support slots across the country. So we'll be everywhere next year. So really looking forward to sort of getting back out there and sort of being very active on the scene again. It's been fun.
Excellent, mate.
We are hitting the studio in December and January as well. We've got 7 new tracks that we're recording.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
So they'll be out in the new year sometime. One of the great things about music, I was explaining this to my 9-year-old daughter the other day. She's got really eclectic mixing music. She collects vinyls and she's like really into music already.
Oh, that's nice.
But it's like her friends like into sort of like emo rock kind of stuff, and she's like loves everything from a little bit of rock to Taylor Swift. Like she's like, and everything in between. And she's a street dancer. But I was trying to explain to her, I said, well, that's what's so good about music. He's like, we don't all have to agree on what's good and bad. Like that's why there's so many genres and subgenres. And you know, I love metal, but I don't like death thrash metal. But then there's some bits of it that I do quite like. So you've just got to find the bit. That's why I think it's worth listening to everything.
Yeah,
it's the best perspective to have, isn't it? When you've got an open mind and you can go out there and listen to try everything and find what you like yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I like to compare
find
it to
loads
food.
of new bands who are doing that. Jordan, who's the tattooist in the Westlands, so he's just fixed me up with a new tattoo. He put me onto a band called Pop Evil recently. Cool
band.
I would have never have thought to listen to in a million years, and I've gone through some of their songs, and I actually really like them. Now they're an awesome band. So yeah,
He's got a good voice on him.
I've not heard them.
Yeah, very, very good, very good.
But you listen to you think Pop Evil, and then you listen to the band, and the name doesn't really translate with the sound of the band, in my opinion.
No, but they're eclectic as well, because they've got some songs that are almost pop, and then they've got some songs that are like really heavy. So maybe that's where the Pop Evil name comes from. I don't know.
Okay. Because it's like new metal kind of thing that I was hearing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, slightly contradict myself a little bit because it is slightly overproduced, but it does sound tastefully done. Yeah, like it's kind of very pop. There's lots of stuff going on in it, but it's kind of layered nicely.
Cool. Well, I think we're at the end of the podcast, Steve.
Right,
it's very sad times, isn't it? Very sad times.
It is. I could talk about this stuff all night. It's great.
I know, we could as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate you coming on and giving up your time for us.
It's been an absolute pleasure to catch up. And
thanks for having us.
And hear your choices.
We'll see you again next year, no doubt, playing. But yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Amazing stuff.
Can I just say one thing? There's a little festival at the Victoria Inn Bikers Club in Coville, and they have a brilliant charity that's for suicide prevention for mostly young men. The guy who runs it lost a family member to it. So somehow they've invited us to play again for them next year, and we've decided that we're going to run up and down Mount Snowdon for charity.
Oh, wow.
We've already near enough hit target. We're going to be running in July, I think 27th of July. So we've got a GoFundMe page for the charity. We're almost at £1,000 already, so we've still got quite a few months to go before we do it. But yeah, we're training our asses off for that. So
good luck, mate. Yes, send any details through, and we'll put a post out from our end and try and spread the word.
Indeed.
Yeah. Because we really don't want to do it now. We've started.
You've got to do it now. You've got to do it, haven't you?
People have donated now, so we don't have a choice.
Like, sorry, I've changed my mind.
I don't fancy it now. My legs are aching.
Surprisingly, it was really, really bad. We went to do a gig on Saturday, and I just got like my normal gig clothes, and I'm a bit boring. I wear the same jeans every time, and I've got to put them on, and they've literally dropped to the ground. So I hadn't done a show for quite a few weeks, and I was like, oh shit, I need new jeans now. So I went out searching for new jeans, couldn't find any that fit me anywhere. Literally couldn't find a single bloody pair. Ended up in Levi's at MacArthur Glen. Cost me like nearly 100 quid for a new pair of flipping jeans, which I only wanted to spend like a tenner on. And then I had to go straight to my gig. And then got tattoo ink all over them because my tattoo sweated, and then all the ink ran down me. That's a whole other story.
Tattoo juice. Tattoo juice.
Let me new jeans.
I've got tattoo juice all over my jeans.
Dude, it's been a pleasure. All right, Steve. See you later, mate.
See you, dude.
Cheers, boys. See you later.
Cheers, dude.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, hey.
Well, hey again, dude. Oh, I never expected it. I should know by now. I should be aware of your ways.
It's back with a vengeance.
It is back. How are you? Anyway, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, dude.
Another great episode.
Fantastic episode. Really enjoyed catching up with Stephen.
Indeed. I mean, I feel like I only met him 5 minutes ago at your gig. It was, wasn't it, in Birmingham? No, Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton, yes. When he played with the Westlands.
Gifford Arms, great venue. If you're in the area, go and just check out. I mean, every single gig they seem to put on is a great lineup. So go and give them some support. It's
an old school venue, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
You don't get them like that much anymore.
And Brett, who puts all the gigs on, is absolutely sound as a pound.
Oh yeah, I met him as well. Yeah, good guy.
He does a lot for the unsigned circuit. Absolutely brilliant chap.
So, what do you think to Stephen Nunn's band, dude?
I think this is going to be a great rock band.
It's the Danny Beardsley seal of approval.
The seal of approval. I mean, that didn't exactly sound very profound, did it? That review I just gave there.
No,
what do you think?
I think it's a great band. I'll add no further detail.
Okay, you'll add no. That's great. That's great.
I think we should go through member by member. What do you think? Like we normally do.
Let's use our usual formula.
Okay, where should we start? Should we start with the drums?
Let's start with the drums. A good place to start.
Oh my God, I can't say his name. It's L.S. DePario Siberiano.
You're very good at pronouncing.
Also known as the Instagram drummer guy or the YouTube drummer guy.
He is the Instagram drummer guy, isn't he? He's just absolutely out of this world.
We had a listen, didn't we, to both his band.
Yep.
And his some of his little videos he puts on Instagram and YouTube.
I didn't even know he had a band until talking to Stephen. His band is called The Cost.
The Cost, yes. I think his drumming's great in it.
Yep.
But personally, I prefer his little videos he does.
Yeah, The Cost they've got a little bit of Tool going on in places, but then they're trying to throw in some new metal gent stuff, and then at times it sounds like there's a classic rock thing going on. It's kind of a mashup, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I can't say I'm a massive fan of the vocals, personally.
It's not the strongest part of the band, but when you've got that dude in the band, you're going to struggle to be the strongest part.
That's true.
Because he is.
He's a frontman drummer, isn't he?
He is.
He's the main event. I loved his YouTube drumming bits. What was that one we listened to last?
It's called King, and it's on a minor cymbals session on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that track, if you want to listen to, because I think the drum sound on that, because it's like a live session.
Yeah,
I prefer that to the actual recording of the album track.
What about that Slipknot song you did?
Oh,
One-Handed.
Oh,
that was incredible.
It was the 666 song.
Yeah.
You know this song.
Yeah,
You're more of a Slipknot fan than me, but he got challenged by the bass player, didn't he, from Slipknot?
Yeah. To play it one-handed.
And he smashed it.
Easily.
Unreal.
Like, how good do you have to be to play Joey Jordison's parts one-handed?
Unbelievable. If you are a drummer and you want to learn from a great drummer, and
just watch him.
Great sound, great technique. I mean, he's incredibly percussive, very tight, and his snare sound's very nice. I like his snare sound.
It's not just for me. It's not just what he plays. It's how solid every single beat is. Even when he's playing one-handed.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a weak bit in there. It's just all 100% solid. It's incredible.
He always seems to have a focus on groove, even when he's playing something ridiculously fast.
I don't think there's anything he couldn't play. I'd like to see him play some Tool stuff, see how that sounds.
Yeah, I bet there is on his account somewhere.
I bet there is. I'm going to check it out later.
There's some Avenged Sevenfold stuff as well.
Yeah,
I saw
some
that
stuff
on there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Enjoyed watching that.
And that was perfect as well.
Brilliant.
So great drum choice.
Great drum choice.
Great pick.
Boom.
Who's next?
Malcolm Young.
Young.
Yeah,
I
wasn't expecting this, mate. I mean, as far as rhythm rock guitarists go, he is like an industry standard. There's no doubt about it. He's got like really crappy looking. It really does look like a crappy looking Gretsch with everything missing off it. It's got one pickup in it.
I wouldn't say it's a beautiful Gretsch.
It's not. It's not one of the nicest.
It's not one of John Hartwell's lovely Gretches, is it?
No, it's not. Hi, John. But it's not. It's not supposed to be. It's just like a.
It looks like it's been through the wars.
I've still got this tea from earlier on.
Oh,
it's flipping horrendous.
Have you pooed yet?
No. No.
Has the laxative effects kicked in? No. Okay, that's good.
No.
That's good. I've got to say, I'm not a big AC/DC fan. And we did listen to
Thunderstruck
in Rio.
Yes.
Is it Rio? Yeah, it was Rio, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, we had to turn off the right-hand speaker, didn't we? Because we were just hearing Angus with his lead playing.
Blip, 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 blip,
So
blip, blip, blip.
Yeah, we wanted to focus on Malcolm's sound. And it's great. I really like it. It's got that low-gain, crisp tone. His timing seems impeccable. He really locks in with everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
So with what's his name, the drummer?
Don't keep making me say it. El Estepario Siberiano.
That's the last time we'll mention his name.
Good.
YouTube
drummer guy.
YouTube drummer guy. They're going to lock in really well. We watched some Gretsch demos as well.
Oh, they were good.
Yeah, they were really good.
And there was a couple of interviews with some guys that worked with him and said how great he was, didn't they, as well. I think he was one of the best guitarists I've ever worked with.
Yeah, mad.
Which, I'll be honest, from my point of view, I wouldn't say that from listening to AC/DC. But then again, I don't listen to AC/DC because
you're not a fan, are you?
I don't choose to listen to music I don't like.
No, I don't listen to them, but when one of their big track comes on, I totally understand why they can fill an arena and they can get everybody going.
It is different. They're a festival band, aren't they? Like, you can see why they're a headliner.
Yes, absolutely.
But I'd never choose to listen to them on my own. They'd absolutely ruin my playlist on Apple Music. They would have started listening to that.
Yeah, 100%. I would not put AC/DC on and listen to it when I'm in the bath, for instance. It's just not bath time music. There's an example.
What is? I want to know this now. What's your bath time music?
Bath time music? I'd probably put something on like The Ocean, maybe.
Oh, really?
Something like that, or...
Yeah. I think Ice is a good bath time music. I'd fall asleep,
maybe Opeth. Maybe
I'd
Opeth
fall asleep
would
and
be a good
drown.
one.
Danny's bath time music.
Bath time music.
With Danny Beardsley.
Anyway, great choice.
Who's next?
He's a great rhythm player. Bass.
Bass. It's Todd Kearns. He's a rock star, isn't he?
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him.
What's that bass he plays?
I think it's like a Thunderbird, but I don't know if it is an actual Gibson Thunderbird or not.
Because he must be a very tall guy, because he makes that Thunderbird look like...
I mean, he's a Music Man guy as well, so maybe it's got a few different basses out there that he's played.
Always got a Music Man.
Yeah, there's a few videos of him playing Music Man as well.
Stingray, of course.
I think this is where we get to the point where we call someone an industry standard.
You said it's like listening to Duff. You got that impression.
Yeah, but I mean, we was listening to Slash and the Conspirators, weren't we? So it's going to have that vibe anyway, I think, because of the music. But it is really solid. Like, it's just it serves the song perfectly.
Yeah.
And again, standard tone.
But
tone.
You've just hit the nail on the head. He serves the song. I thought he's got a very reinforcing kind of sound for the other instruments.
Yes, not necessarily a solo kind of player.
No.
It's not a Ryan Martini type character.
No.
But he looks absolutely cool as fuck on stage.
Yeah.
And that's what you wanted it when you play next to Slash.
Yes, absolutely. We listened to a track called Driving Rain, which was out about 5 years ago, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because Slash has released a lot of music, hasn't he?
Yeah.
A great track. It sounds great.
Well, you was loving his tone, weren't you? Slash's tone.
I love Slash's tone. Yeah, I really do love Slash's tone.
I love Slash's tone.
Well, because it hasn't got much low end. Yeah, I've said this before.
Oh my God, here he goes again.
I don't like too much low end in the guitar. But it's also worth mentioning Todd Kearns' voice, because we did listen to some of his...
We listened to Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, yeah.
And he was doing Axl's parts, wasn't he?
What was your comment?
It's better than Axl now.
Yeah, There's undeniable.
He's got a great voice. I mean, we listened to his solo stuff, and that was a little bit overdone for me.
Well, there's a track called
effects and stuff, but
what was that track? It was from like 17 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me. Yeah.
But he's playing guitar on that on the video. But
I'm pretty sure it's him on bass. And
you said it sounds like him on bass, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, great choice.
Great choice indeed.
Will it blend?
I think it will blend. Yeah.
Yes, it will. Right, next.
Who's next?
Prince.
Oh,
yeah.
This is a good one because
I know.
Danny, you're not known as being. In fact, I think I've said it before. You hate Prince, don't you?
I don't hate. I'm going to have to calm down. I don't hate.
Sorry, I had to throw that one out there. You're going to say it again.
I don't
hate Prince. I just don't like his guitar. That bloody guitar he plays.
Yeah, I don't like that weird shaped guitar. I think when he's playing a Telecaster, that works for him, doesn't it?
Okay.
I mean, he's a great guitar player. I mean, you show me a video of him playing bass, which
is immense.
You kind of put me in my place when I saw that bit.
Of course I did.
But I don't get the hype. That's all.
Okay.
That's all. But that's just personal taste.
Has your opinion changed since this podcast?
Stephen sent me a load of music to listen to afterwards,
did, yeah.
and I am going to talk about a particular track that stood out to me in particular, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And if Prince was to play this kind of style, it's a bit kind of like Hendrixy. I don't know what he's playing. It sounded like some sort of single coil Strat kind of sound.
Okay.
Third Eye Girl.
Yep.
And the track is called Plectrum Electrum. Now, you pointed out...
I mean, I don't know which one came first, but it's basically I'm Broken by Pantera.
That came first.
Well, I'm Broken came first?
Yeah.
Have we just revealed that Prince stole some Pantera riffs? Is that what we're saying?
Dude, there's only so many notes. But it's like... It's
It even changes key, like I'm Broken.
Yeah. But there's a lot of groove, there's a lot of harmony. He sounds great on that track. I mean, there's too much to go through, isn't there? Have you got a standout?
No, but I listened to that experimental album that Stephen brought up, and it was the Emancipation album.
Okay.
And it's extremely, I think I said it earlier, it's extremely smooth and sexy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sexy. Yeah, so...
From a composition perspective, or like an overall kind of production perspective?
I think it's the bass.
Oh, okay.
I think they've got sexy bass. Slidey, like
Nice.
that kind of like warm, and you just want to kind of sink you back into it.
Oh, do you know?
Well, yeah, that's right. That's kind of yeah.
Is it kind of slow-paced? I didn't get that far and listen to that.
Yeah, slower and paced. Bit R&B kind of type in a way, in places.
But would that blend? Will it blend with the rest? Would that style blend with the rest of it?
What, the rest of the band?
Yeah, because I was thinking
Probably
more.
not.
More
Probably
of,
not.
I was thinking more of the Third Eye.
Oh, Third Eye Girl. Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Prince can make anything blend.
Okay.
Personally,
It's a bold claim.
I'll put a shout out as well. So Stephen also talked about Willow Smith.
Yep.
I don't think you've listened yet.
No.
But I put her latest album on, and it's very Prince-like.
Is it really?
It's very, there's a lot of poppiness to it, like R&B groove, sexiness again. Yeah, so listen to that if you like Prince. It's really, really good. I was really impressed.
I'll have a listen to that tomorrow.
It's probably a bit modern for you, Danny.
Oh, okay.
Some feedback there for you.
A bold claim.
Have a listen.
Well, yeah, a great choice. Sorry to Stephen for being dismissive at first. Who's on vocals?
Stephen Nunn.
Excellent voice.
I mean, I think he's better live than what we've heard on CD Dude.
Yeah, he's got like a real cool, fun stage presence.
He's an absolute frontman, isn't he?
Yeah, it's the banter in between as well and everything. Really, he's a really cool guy to be around. Really, really friendly and good fun, isn't he?
And he's in two bands.
Yep.
They are.
The Soul Revival. There's a track called Midnight Flame. If you want to listen to that, that's like a classic rock, hard hitting kind of.
Yeah, it's like a cross between hard rock and classic rock, I'd say.
Yeah,
it's kind of on the line in between.
Velvet Revolver.
Yeah, that
Arena.
Yeah, definitely
that kind of stuff. Super cool, like gritty. He's got like a full-bodied kind of voice. You know, that kind of rock voice that you want to.
Yeah, but I think controversial. I think I like his country rock project more personally because it's something different.
Yeah. Considering that they're from the Midlands,
you would never guess. You'd think they're from the deep south.
Yes, absolutely.
So good.
They sound authentic, don't they? That's what when we sat down to listen to them, they were like, "This sounds like authentic country rock."
It was amazing. I'd never really listened to that genre at all, but you know what? I absolutely love it, and I love how his vocals blend with the bass player vocals too.
Yes,
like perfect.
Brilliant. There's a particular track that stood out to us, wasn't there, that we enjoyed listening to?
There was. What's that track, Danny?
Falling.
Oh yeah, Falling. Yeah,
it's got a really catchy chorus.
So good. And so good.
Yeah, we went back and listened to that track, and I remember it from the gig.
Yes.
It's a sign of a good track, isn't it?
It's a great track.
So Stephen singing with this band, and the backing vocals of Todd Kearns.
Prince.
I don't know if Malcolm sings, but he doesn't need to. Great band.
Would you go and see this band, Danny?
I would. I'd be there.
I've never seen Prince, so I'm going to see it for that.
Well, I think every member of the band.
Oh yeah, but especially Prince.
Yeah, I suppose he is a
legend.
A legend.
He is a legend. Yeah. But yes, it's an intriguing band. I'd like to see what they come out with, what kind of style it would be as well. It's intriguing.
What was the name?
The name of the band was Raw Funk with a PH.
So, yeah.
It's going to be funky, isn't it?
Funky rock.
It's going to be funky rock. I think it'll work.
I think it'll blend.
Will it blend?
Will it blend?
There we go.
Yes, it will.
It's official, yes. With a name like Raw Funk, Danny, would you buy a T-shirt?
Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Put your money where your mouth is. Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Put your money where your mouth is.
Oh, long pause. You're thinking, aren't you?
Oh, well, I'm concerned because I've been buying a lot of T-shirts recently.
You've been spending a lot of money on T-shirts.
So I might have to wait for the design.
I hope it's got Prince's guitar that you don't like on it.
Well, that's the thing I'm nervous about.
That's what I like. I want the whole logo to be that guitar, basically, in logo form.
You would do.
Raw Funk made out of that guitar. That's what I want to see. I'd buy a T-shirt just to mock you.
You'd wear it purposely?
I'd wear it purposely just to annoy you.
Would you buy 7 of them so you could wear them each day of the week?
No, don't be ridiculous.
But different designs? No, we're going nowhere with this.
We're going nowhere. You're ridiculous. You're a dick.
Absolutely class. Thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Thank you to Stephen for coming and
it was mega, wasn't it?
Part. Yeah.
And I really look forward to going and see the Westlands again. Or Soul Revival, actually.
Yes.
We'll catch him wherever we can.
Indeed.
Right, just have a little search for Stephen Nunn on social media, the Westlands and Soul Revival. Have a little look, give him a follow and a like, listen to the stuff. While you're at it, give us a follow.
Give us a like, subscribe, 5-star review.
Oh yeah, always give us a 5-star review. We feed off those, don't we?
Yes, indeed.
They give us our strength.
Give us our power.
Punch the white dog, eat its soul, gain its power.
Rise from your grave. 10 points if you know what he's talking about there.
Oh yeah, surely people know what that is. We completed that once, didn't we? 2-player mode.
If we did, I was drunk.
I'm sure we did. I'm sure we played through the entire thing. I think we had unlimited lives though.
On the Kraken. We'd have been on the Kraken.
We was on the Kraken, definitely. Oh, I just realised on one of those drunken sessions, Danny. Sorry, we're going on a little bit here.
Yeah.
I became an ordained priest, didn't I? On one of our drunken sessions.
Yes.
I had an email the other day saying, Reverend Daniel Hayes.
Sorry, I've just had another swag of that drink and it's cold and horrible now.
Do you need to poo now?
Yeah. No.
But yeah, on a drunken night, I got ordained as a priest.
I remember it. It was a long time ago now.
I think it was 11 years ago.
Is it still valid?
I have to order a certificate, which costs £45 to become official.
So does that mean you're going to do it, or...?
Absolutely not. I've got no reason to be and it's only valid in America, so I can only perform weddings in America with that certificate. I've got no plans. No one's asked me. But if any listeners out there do want me to officiate their wedding in America, I'll do it. All you need to do is pay me the £45 for the certificate and flights and accommodation while I'm out there. And I've got a rider as well.
And you want a muscle car?
I want a muscle car for the week.
What muscle car would you get?
I'd go for a Mustang, I think.
A Mustang?
A classic. What would you go for?
I think I'd go for a Mustang. I
remember watching... copy me.
Well, I remember... No, when I was a kid, I used to watch the classic film, Bullet. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's a classic film, and there's a really famous chase scene that goes on, like, there's like a famous road in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
And Steve McQueen is, like, driving a
Mustang.
A Mustang, and it's class.
Oh, bloody hell. We've got off topic, dude. We've got off topic.
I just want to say, there was no special effects back then, mate. It was just like...
Just Steve McQueen in his car.
Steve McQueen.
Cool as fuck.
Cool as. Anyway, let's say goodbye.
We're terrible at this, aren't we? Every time.
Yeah. Thank you, listeners. Have a fantastic day.
Indeed.
Until next time, goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
We're so sorry to see you go, but thanks for tuning into the show.